What's up, everybody? I want to talk to you for a few minutes. As you can see behind me is the front entrance to the world famous Sydney Opera House. As I was walking up here, I was thinking about this is another place that I've wanted to see ever since I was young, in terms of world famous structures or places of interest. And the other thing I was thinking about is where my love for traveling the world began. And it actually started when I was 10 years old. I remember I was looking at television and there was a special program about the Great Wall of China. And at 10 years old, I was amazed by this man-made structure and its huge size and what it took to create it. And I said to myself, one day I'm going to go see that place. I'm going to go walk on that wall. At 10 years old. Well, 14 years later, at the age of 24, in the year 2000, I actually did it. And at that moment in my life, I knew two things. I knew that, one, I love traveling. And two, that it is possible for dreams that you held as a child to actually come true. Now, that was a huge revelation to me, because when you say dreams come true, I never bought into that. I thought that was just garbage you saw on television. But when I got out of that vehicle and I stepped foot on the Great Wall of China, my mind took me back to when I was 10, and it was a very emotional moment for me. So this is something that's very similar, to sit there and look, and the Sydney Opera House is right behind me, you know. I also think about the fact that everybody has dreams. And you know, your dream might be to own a business, it might be to get a certain level of education, it might be to have a family and raise children, or whatever. Mine was always to travel the world. And you know, I've been to almost 30 countries on 5 continents. I've ridden a camel in the desert with the pyramids of Giza behind me. I got to go check out a soccer game at the World Cup in South Africa. I've been inside the Roman Colosseum. I've been to the Eiffel Tower. I've done a lot of things that I dreamed about when I was a kid. I've seen a lot of places that I only saw on television or in history or geography books. But it was always important to me to leave where I grew up and come and see these areas for myself, because they weren't real to me until I could come and experience them for myself. My thoughts were always, why gravitate around where you grew up, around the people you grew up, around the mentalities and the ideas you grew up around? Why tether yourself to those things? Go out and see the world. Expand your mind. Develop yourself. But for you, life may be something different. What I want to say is, whatever your dream is, whatever it is, however old it is, don't give up on it. See, what happens is we get older, we go through a bad marriage, we settle for some job, we settle down with someone and have a family, and we give up on our dreams. We say, shrug our shoulders and say, well, it wasn't meant to be. I always wanted to do this, but it's too late for me now. That's ridiculous. You know what? Traveling is expensive. And there were times when I was broke, when I was unemployed, when going around the world and seeing these places seemed like an impossibility to me. Now, when I say broke and unemployed, I'm not talking about when I was in college. I'm talking about after I got my master's degree. Life has not been what I planned it to be. But I kept pushing myself, and I kept breathing on my dream to keep it hot and fiery and fresh and alive. I wouldn't let it die. See, when your dream won't die, you'll recognize opportunities to make it come true, and you'll believe and you'll go after that. But when you let your dreams die, you're blinded to those opportunities. And you'll never realize that you could have fulfilled your dreams. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't settle for mediocrity. Don't settle for where you are now. I'm going to say this and I'm going to end the video. You are not defined by your past, and your circumstances do not dictate your future. As long as that stuff lives in you, you're going to make a way that it can happen. I never knew how I was going to get to see the Sydney Opera House or the pyramids in Egypt or the Great Wall of China, but I kept thinking it was going to happen. And when the opportunities presented themselves, I took advantage of them. And here I am.